National Committee for Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve is pleased to have Brigadier General Peter Dawkins, United States Army, retired, current Vice Chairman of Global Wealth Management at Citigroup, introduce this timely and important training video. President of his West Point class of 1959, General Dawkins was an All-American halfback, the winner of the 1958 Heisman Trophy, and a Rhodes Scholar at Oxford. Since leaving the military, General Dawkins has had a distinguished business career. He has received numerous civilian awards for public service, was recognized by Time magazine as one of the top 50 leaders in the United States, and recently received the Distinguished American Award by the Horatio Alger Association.
I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to talk with you briefly about one of our nation's greatest assets, the men and women in uniform of the National Guard and Reserve. As an employer, you're also a vital part of our national security, because many of these people in uniform work directly for your organizations, and today nearly half of them are in the National Guard and Reserve. You know, hiring members of the National Guard and Reserve makes good business sense. Guardsmen and reservists make great employees for many reasons, among them because they're self-disciplined, physically fit, and drug-free. Through their military training and experience, they develop technical, organizational, and leadership skills that translate directly into their civilian jobs. In many cases, reducing your training burden, which, as you well know, is often time-consuming and expensive. The truth is, many organizations faced with budget constraints are forced to cut back on their training budgets. Well, here's some good news in that regard. The technical training that members of the National Guard and Reserve receive in the course of their military service frequently enhances the skills and knowledge needed in their civilian jobs. It's a real win-win all round. The National Committee for Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve, ESGR as it's known, is a Department of Defense organization. As an employer of Guard and Reserve personnel, we in Citigroup have grown to depend upon ESGR to help us resolve the occasional challenges that arise with our service personnel. Its mission is to gain and maintain active support for these dedicated men and women from all public and private employers. ESGR field committees are located in all 54 states and territories, plus Europe, and are staffed with over 3,900 volunteers who provide active support on a daily basis. The presentation you're about to see is particularly important for employers and employees alike. It lays out in clear, simple terms your rights and responsibilities under the law. A guardsman or reservist's service to our nation should not be detrimental to their civilian career. Congress passed the Uniformed Services Employment and Reemployment Rights Act, USERRA, in 1994 to set forth a fair and straightforward set of rules for employers and to protect the rights of all members of the uniformed services. I strongly encourage you to learn about USERRA and ESGR's employer outreach programs by visiting the ESGR website at www.esgr.mil or by calling 800-336-4590 for additional information. It seems that I spend a lot of my life thanking people. I'm delighted to do so, particularly when it involves thanking the men and women of the Guard and Reserve and their employers, because together you form an indispensable team that plays a vital role in preserving, protecting, and defending our liberties. This video is designed in order to assist you in building closer relationships with the men and women of the National Guard and Reserve.
So what's up, man?
Not much, man. Just another day at work, you know?
Yeah, heck of this work, man. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Now, you saw the game last night?
Yeah, it's tight.
No, that was tight, man. That 3-point at the end of the game?
I'm telling you.
Ron, looks like Dan's got that night next month.
Starting when? The 8th?
Uh-huh.
You know, I got drilled that weekend. How am I supposed to get back here and work the full shift?
Man, look, I done been there and done that. But ever since Fred's retired, man, I have enough seniority where I only have to work days again.
Look, man, we've all done it. Now it's your turn. Hey, you guys got something better to do than just stand around?
Hey, boss, we just here looking at the new shift schedule.
Then, you got a minute?
What about?
It's about the schedule.
It is what it is. Get back to work.
It should only take a minute.
Come on in the office. Okay, what is it?
Dan, you put me on night shift starting the 8th. That's going to be a problem for me.
Look, Ron, you don't have the seniority some of the other guys got. It's not that bad. You'll get used to it.
No, I understand that, and I'm happy to work nights. No problem, you know, but do I have to start the shift on the 8th?
New shift assignments start every 3 months. If you don't like nights, you can bid days next time.
But I got drilled that weekend, remember? I don't get out till 9 or 10 at night.
Your shift doesn't start till midnight.
Yeah, but it's not like I've been resting up over the weekend. I mean, we do PT at 5:30 in the morning.
I don't know what to tell you. It's not my problem. Maybe the Army can let you off early. You know, I got some calls to make. Get out of here.
That just doesn't seem right.
Look, you need to be here to start your shift at midnight on the 8th. If you're not here, I'm going to write you up. We need people we can count on to be here on time and to work hard. Now, get out here and let me make my phone calls.
HR, this is Margaret.
Hey, Margaret, it's Dan. You called?
Yes, Dan. I just wanted to make sure Bill got back to work and that you got his doctor's note.
Oh, yeah. His doc didn't give any work restrictions. We were lucky, really. It could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, you said it. Well, what got into Bill anyway?
He just wasn't paying attention. He told me he hadn't had much sleep before his shift started, and he was just really tired. He's back. No problems today. But thanks for asking, and thanks for all the help. It helped me fill out the injury report.
No problem.
I want to talk to you about Ron Blake. He's in the National Guard, and he was in my office a while ago asking about his shift. I think he wants me to change his shift because of his guard duty. I don't think we need to do that, but I'd like to talk to you about it.
Well, come on up.
Okay.
So Ron needs time off for guard duty or something like that?
No, he has weekend drill again in a couple of weeks. But it doesn't really conflict with his shift or anything.
Then what's the problem?
Well, when we were talking about Bill and how he got hurt sleepwalking on the job, it got me to thinking about Ron.
I'm not following.
Now, I just posted the new shift assignments, and I had to move him to night starting on the 8th.
Okay.
Thing is, he has guard duty that weekend, and he probably won't get home until 10 o'clock Sunday night, and it'll only be a couple hours till his shift starts. I guess he's not going to be the first guy to report sleepy for the night shift.
Well, I'm glad you brought it up. At the last HR conference I went to a session on military leave. I have some handouts here in the office, and I'll give you one before you leave.
Okay, but I'm not telling Blake that he can't go to drill or anything. I know we have to give him time off for military duty, and then we have to put him back to work when he comes back.
Yeah, that's the basics, but there's more. There are new Department of Labor regulations that we need to think about. The law says that Ron has to come back to work after his drill weekend, after getting 8 hours of rest at home. If it takes him until 10 o'clock at night to get home, then we can't ask him to come in until 8 hours later. Or in Ron's case, until midnight on the 9th.
Then you think I need to tell him to find someone to switch shifts with him that day?
No, he'll only have to give us notice if he has to do military service. But if the military makes it unreasonable for him to do that, then we can't expect Ron to rearrange his schedule or find a replacement. Bottom line, we have to cover his shift.
Well, if I have to get one of the other guys to pick up the shift on the 8th, I'm going to have to pay him overtime.
Yeah, I realize that, but the law is the law. Besides, do we really want Ron working on zero sleep? I mean, we may have to cover his shift for more than just a day if he's injured. Workman's comp, hospital stays.
All right, I got it. I figured that was the right answer. I just wanted to check. If we let everybody off that has a busy weekend, we'd never have anybody here.
I know what you mean. but not everybody's serving their country. And it may cause some more work for you, but it's the right thing to do.
Hey Deborah, you got a few minutes? Sure thing. I just wanted to let you know that we finished the changes that the customer wanted, and we're ready to leave on Friday.
That's great. Ahead of schedule and under budget, no doubt.
Of course. What do you expect?
Well, you've really impressed me. It's hard to believe you've only been here for 8 months.
Thanks. Oh, by the way, don't forget I've got my Air Force training next month. I'll be gone for 2 weeks.
2 weeks? Thought it was just 1.
No, it's 2 weeks. We have extended training, and I'll be gone for 2 weeks.
Do you have that much vacation time?
No, but I can use unpaid leave.
We have to let you off for training, but company policy states that you have to use your paid vacation before you use your unpaid.
I understand the company policy, but I'm pretty sure military leave is different.
I can check with HR, but I'm pretty sure they'll say the same thing. Can you find anything in writing that says while on military duty you can use your unpaid leave?
Sure. Are you on the web?
Sure.
Just type in www.esgr.mil.
Okay, I've got it.
There's lots of information on the site. Click on the link for employers.
Wow, there's a lot here. ESGR programs, links to the law, employer resources.
Click on the frequently asked questions. Maybe there's something about military leave and vacation.
Here we go. Am I permitted to make the employee use vacation for military training or service? Here, it says no. If the employee wants to use vacation, he or she has the right to do so, but it's unlawful for you to make the employee use vacation. Well, that's pretty straightforward. I wonder if HR knows about this site.
I'm not sure. I could check.
That's okay. I'll talk to them. Oh, look! Employers can adopt policies and programs that are above and beyond what's required by USERRA law. HR really needs to review our company policies.
So we agree I can go on unpaid leave and save my vacation for later?
I'll confirm it with HR, but yeah, that's the plan.
ESGR has an award for great bosses. I'm going to put you in for it.
Oh, no need. Obviously, the Air Force has trained you well.
Did you get my email?
Yeah, I got it. Listen, you're going to have to tell the Coast Guard to find somebody else that week. You're needed around here.
Well, Mel, I know it's short notice, but it's hurricane season and I'm needed near the coast to help out. I can't just tell the Coast Guard to find somebody else. The military doesn't work that way.
Well, neither does this company.
I don't know what to tell you. I don't have any choice. I'll get back to work as soon as possible, and when I get back, I'll work as hard as I can to catch up.
Do you have any orders or something? I mean, if you don't have any orders, I don't think I have to send you.
I don't have any orders or documents for you. I do have job rights. I might can get you something when I get back.
That doesn't sound right. Listen, I got to tell you, if you're not here that week, I'm going to have to find somebody else.
You can't do that, Mel. A rep from the ESGR came and talked to our unit a couple of months ago about the law. He told us that much.
ESGR?
Yeah. Give him a call. They'll tell you.
Good afternoon, Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve. This is Belinda. May I help you?
Hi, Belinda. I'm Mel Woodbury. I have a small business, and one of my employees is telling me that every time she wants to go on Coast Guard duty, I have to give her as much time as she wants, and I don't even have any say about it. I can't even ask her for documentation.
Hello, Mr. Woodbury. Let's start at the beginning. Did you state that you don't have any documentation?
Well, this morning she comes in and we're having coffee, and she reminds me of this email. She's got Coast Guard duty coming up, and she tells me that, you know, she's got to go. It's like 2 days notice, and I don't have anything to say about it. I need her next week, and I don't know what I'm going to do.
Well, the ESGR and the Defense Department recommends that reservists and National Guard members give their employers as much advance notice as possible, but the law doesn't specify any minimum period of notice. Now, we do realize that circumstances do arise, especially in a mobilization scenario such as the recent hurricane support call-up, when the individual may have very little advance notice from military authorities. Under ordinary circumstances, it's not unreasonable for you to expect more notice of military leave requirements.
Can I ask for documentation?
Well, it depends. The law does not require the reservist to provide documentation to their employer for leaves that last less than 30 days. Now, for more extended absences that last over 30 days, you're only entitled to documentation that establishes the employee is eligible for reemployment, dates of service, whether the employee served honorably, and reported back within specified time limits. By law, your employee is only required to give you notice of military service, not to obtain your permission to go. ESGR recommends National Guard and Reserve personnel provide their employers any documentation that's readily available, but they may not have much documentation on some occasions. You should know if you're providing employees any paid benefits above and beyond what the law requires, you could require any documentation you see fit to demonstrate an employee qualifies for that benefit.
What if I call her commanding officer? Can I do that?
Certainly. Under the law, your employee is only required to give you notice. While you have no authority under the law to veto the timing, frequency, or duration of the leave, you may contact the commanding officer when leave seems excessive. Now, a commander faces some of the same challenges you do in managing your business, and he or she knows it's in everyone's best interest to work together. Often they'll offer alternatives to meet individual needs. For example, if the timing of a training period presents a real problem, the commanding officer might try to adjust a service member's training schedule for you if it's the right thing to do. But please understand that such rescheduling must be kept to a minimum. National Guard and Reserve units train as a team, and if an individual member trains at a different time, the team may suffer.
Well, I don't have any problem with Cecilia doing her regular training, but lately it seems she's always just dropping in my office and telling me she needs 3 days here, 2 days there. She rarely gives me more than a couple days' notice, and I just can't believe I've got to give her that time off. I believe she's just volunteering for whatever job they have out there. Maybe she likes being in the Coast Guard better than working here.
Well, service in the uniformed services means performance of duty on a voluntary or involuntary basis in a uniformed service. If and when you call the commander, you might mention how you would appreciate more notice if possible of military obligations. Cecilia's commander can reinforce to Cecilia how important it is that she be considerate of your needs in addition to the needs of her unit. Would you like for me to have a local ESGR volunteer call you? He or she can answer any other questions that might come up and also tell you about a program that recognizes the work you and other employers are doing to support their Guard and Reserve employees.
No, that won't be necessary. I've learned a lot today. You know, I've met her commander. It was about a year ago. I was at this briefing with the boss. My neighbor invited me. I think he volunteers with ESGR.
If you need assistance working with the Uniformed Services Employment and Reemployment Rights Act, ESGR has trained ombudsmen who can help.
Thank you, Belinda. You've been very helpful.
Now, before you go, I'd like to collect a little more information about you and your company. Would you mind?
Not at all. My company's name is Woodbury Cabinets.
Those 3 vignettes are pretty straightforward and really don't require any explanation. The truth is, most misunderstandings can be easily avoided because they involve either a lack of knowledge or poor communications. Employer assistance is available by contacting the ESGR Ombudsman Services Office through their toll-free number 800-336-4590. These ombudsmen are qualified to serve the needs of both the employers and employees, and they are committed to remaining neutral and to finding practical, fair-minded solutions. The crux of our message is that when you support the men and women of the Guard and Reserve, you improve the quality of life of all your employees and you enhance the success of your business. Plus, you do something very important for the security of us all. We thank you very much.